Hey, it's working. Nice. It's been so long since I last started streaming. We'll see how this goes. Okay, let's see what we had to do. Oh, Lax here. What's going on? Alright. So I got the movement done. I'm gonna try to get the collision box to work today. Moses, what's going on, guys? It's been a long time since I last started streaming, so I just thought, you know, why not? Let's pop it open. I'm gonna get some programming done. Do something efficient while streaming. Who knows? I don't know if you guys are interested in this or not. Let's do a collision check here. Radio collision or box collision? Let's go with a box collision for simple measures, and then we'll switch to radio. This isn't too many options here. Do you still play SAO? Depends, which one. I still play a bit of SAO MD here and there, but not too much. I saw the recent progressive banner. Hello, hi, welcome. Everybody's on YouTube. I will learn too. Okay, cool. So we have player X being greater than or equal to TX. Consider that, and player X plus 50 being less than or equal to TX plus 50. Actually, that's kind of a... No, I need the right side to be greater than the left side. Let's do this here. And then we'll do the left side of the player being less than the right side of the box. Simple enough. We'll make a second check here, so I'm just gonna copy this, do a paste, and then switch it to Y. I'm hoping that this works on one try. I'm not sure if it will, but let's see. I'm gonna print collision. Yeah, pretty much, actually. Nope, it didn't happen. Oh, wait, because I didn't call the function. Of course, I'm an idiot. Let's call it right here? No, I'll call it right underneath player. Let's see how that goes. Is this a game or no? Not really. Oh, well, I'm trying to make a game, but... Oh, hey, okay, we got something going on. All right, nice. I want to see if this actually... Oh, okay, no, not print. We're going to go with print ln, just so that we can see this a little bit better. Because I don't want any collision to occur just because I'm underneath this, okay? So flying around the box doesn't do anything, but the minute I touch it, it does say collision. Good. All right, we got collision done. Now, what do I want to happen when it collides? So we're going to go with a simple... But yeah, anyways, welcome guys to the stream. It's gonna be a boring stream as the title suggests. It's gonna be me programming a game, basically. It's kind of like a puzzle game. That's the goal. Essentially, you're trying to go around the map, collecting keys, solving puzzles, and then getting to the next level. That's the goal here. And we're not sure how far I'm gonna be able to make it during this stream, but I'm planning to stream for about an hour, and we'll take a look into it. So this is the plan right now. The game is called Ghost Room. We're going to have an objective collecting keys, mechanics moving via keyboard. There is the uniqueness of, yeah, kind of adventure, yeah. The unique part of it is that you are able to switch between characters. Kind of like, if anyone's ever played the, what's it called? The Flash game called Fireboy and Water Girl. It's kind of like that, except instead of two-player, you switch between characters. Kind of like GTA 5, but not exactly. And we'll see how this works. I'm just trying to get the foundations of the game going. Then we'll see how. Do you got any good tips for game programming? Do you mean programming in general or game programming? Most part of game programming is programming in itself. So I would say focus on challenging yourself. It's not about efficiency from the get-go. You always want to do a plan. So you want to plan things out like this before you head straight into it. You need to have an idea of what you're getting at. what your objective of the game is, what kind of assets you need, such as these guys. By assets, I don't literally mean graphics only. You can have sounds as well. And then you need to understand what concepts you need to know before tackling these problems. So I'm tackling collision right now. Box collision seems to be working nicely. If I have to do radial collision, I do, which means you need to understand trigonometry and circles. But yeah, let's see what else we can do here. So the next step is to actually set up some kind of, so as you can see, I already got screen lock going. It's kind of like Mario. When you're in the middle, you don't really move. Technically, you don't move, and the rest of the game moves. That's kind of the goal, and now I'm able to move. So when I hit the far left corner, then I can start moving again. So I'm out of lock, but that's not entirely what I want, because I don't have an end goal yet. Let's do a quick collision against a key then. I'll create a completely different location for the key. So I'll do key X equals to, these are just testing phases. I'm gonna go with 2000. Let's go with 2000. And then key Y equals to, that kind of looks kind of weird. Hold up. Key X, key Y, and I'll have this set to about, yeah, you know what, 500, sure. I also want to make sure I fix the double jump, so making sure that our player can only jump once. So we'll jump into that in a bit after. So I want to go with key X, key Y, set it up to the right spot. We're going to have to draw it at the rectangle, but I want to change the color a little bit before I jump in. So you want to do some rooms to be lock on and boss rooms to be unlocked screen. Yeah, that's true. Actually, the boss room should probably just one whole room. I don't know though. It's not like it's not a fighting-based game. It's more of a puzzle game. So you really don't want. My goal isn't to make a boss room, but I could. I have. As discussed, there's a couple of pets that you can take on, and one of the pets is the unicorn, which allows for attacking of astral enemies, which isn't too bad of a suggestion. Which I can make a boss room for that. But let me go ahead and pop open a new color. I'm gonna go with yellow, so I'm gonna go 255, 255, and 0. I don't think that's yellow, is it? We'll see. I'm gonna go rectangle, key X, key Y, take on a little bit smaller of a square, so I'm gonna go 20, 20. Let's see how that works. And I should be able to move it. TX plus lock speed, yeah. So here I can do T or key X plus equals lock speed. This way, when I get locked in the center of the screen, it should still allow me to see the key. Okay, there's the first one. Ah, there it is, okay. So what I want is when I collide with this key, I want it to disappear. So I can make it set active and stop drawing. Teach me the ways of programming, and I, instead of help, will be a... You know what? You know, you pick up what you can learn. Here and there, we're gonna see if we can... If you got any questions about what I'm doing here, of course, you can always ask. There's nothing wrong with that. I just realized I have absolutely no idea. I didn't pull up chat for myself either. It's kind of just there. Yeah, oh well. Okay, let's see here. So in order for it to disappear, I need a variable to keep track of whether or not the key has been collected. So I'm gonna go with a boolean. I'm gonna call it collect key, or I'll just make key collected question mark. Oh wait, I can't do question marks in this. What am I saying? But essentially, this variable will be set to be false at the beginning. Of course, he wouldn't be able to pick up the key right from the get-go, I assume. Key collected equals to false, and then when I collide with a key, so collision check with a certain object, right now it's checking between collision and TX and TY, so I'm gonna go ahead and create, I need to create a sprite, don't I? I need to finish making this class here, and then for it to work. Okay, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, I'll test it for now. So when I collide with, there we go, key X, key X. This one has to be plus 20 because the size is only 20 for the key. This is the same thing. When you take away the 50 and change it to 20. Key Y, sure. Okay, so now if I test collision, it should. There we go. Okay, collision's occurring. I'm seeing the lines down here. Perfect. Now I want it to disappear when I collect this. So I'm gonna go ahead, instead of printing collision, set key collection, or is it key collected? Key collected. Okay, I'm just gonna copy that, paste it down here, set it to true, and make sure that the key is only drawn when I have it not collected. So I'm gonna create an if statement here and check to see if key collected or if not key collected. This is in Java, by the way, so if anyone's wondering. And I'm gonna take this rectangle and just pop it in here. Whoops. Okay. I'm in debug mode now. I don't want that. What program are you using? This is a lightweight one. It's called Processing. You can download it for free. It's called Processing 3.5.4. Well, that's just the version number. So when I collect it, yeah, there we go. Okay, the key's gone. Okay, so it works. It's not perfect. The key isn't gone from the system. It's still there. It's just not being drawn. But it does get rid of it at least. Now I need to finish up Sprite here, so I can actually use the class. Right now I have speed, put X, Y, so when I move, I want to apply the speed. So I'm gonna go this dot X plus equal to speed. Actually, should I do that? Because it depends on whether or not it's locked, right? Actually, no, that's fine, that's fine. Because then I can apply the reverse speed of the background speed. Okay, so when I say this dot X plus equals to speed dot get X. This dot Y, we're gonna do the exact same thing, except this time it's gonna get the reverse. There we go. Now that should get both the X speed and the Y speed. And this also depends on which key you press. So let's assume that I'm going to actually, I need to look at the hash map. Hash map processing. I need to figure out how to set things. So the parameters have keys and values. I can using an enhanced loop to iterate over it, ensure can get access by value if there are keys. Cover, but there's more extensions, strings, and numerous hash map and Java reference description. Boolean objects. So we have clear, clone, compute, compute if, compute, constrain, entry set returns the set value of the map for each get, returns the value for which specified by default is empty. Key set returns a set view of the keys contained in this map. Associates the specified value with the specified key. Put if absent, if the specified key is not already associated with a value, associated with a given value, or else returns the current value. Okay. Replace replaces the entry of the specified key only if currently mapped to. Replaces the entry for the specified key only if currently mapped to the specified value. Okay, I think I know what I'm looking for now. It replaces the entry for the specified key only if it's currently mapped to some value. Great, I think I got it. What do you want to speed up, and are you planning to on doing moving maps. It is a moving map, so it's like a side scroller. And what do you want to speed up? It's not so much as speeding up, but I need to apply the speed. So movement is, or in the physics, movement, your speed is applied to your positional vector. So when you apply speed to some positional numbers, it changes, thereby making you move, or making the character appear like they're moving. So we're applying the speed to the X and Y positional vector. That's what it's doing here. Okay, let's see here. If I take on... Oh wait, that's a good idea. If I apply the speed to X, let's dot Y, they will naturally move. When I press a key, instead of having left off false, this should be fine for now. Let's try it. So let's make a player. Class sprite. Can I make player as a sprite? Let's create one. Sprite player. Does that work? Yeah, okay. We made a sprite we made a player that's from the class sprite. Now I have to initialize it in the setup. So let's create it. Player equals to new sprite, and let's provide it with, it requires X, Y, W, and H, so let's provide it with the values. X, 0, 0, width is 50, height is 50. There we go. We got a new player. I'm going to assume that PX and PY are no longer necessary, so I'm going to get rid of that. That's the goal. We got some errors. Anywhere that uses PX and PY, we're going to replace it with player dot player dot X, player dot Y. Got 50-50. PX would be player dot X. And again, I'm just going to be copying and pasting this because too much work. This one will be changed to Y. A couple more errors here. Player.x, this one's player.y. We actually don't need this anymore as long as I call move, but we'll see. For now, since I'm not calling move, I'll deal with it the way I please. Okay, these are all lock zones. But the speed will vary by walking and running. It will be different from the mobs. Are you going to use key shortcuts? Right now, I'm not worried so much as to walking or running. It will just be a consistent speed for now. There is a max speed they can reach up to. So as long as they don't hit that cap, they'll be able to move. Basically, there will be a gradual speed up. It's a very short speed up though, so it's not noticeable. It's like going from... It's kind of keep with the realism, so you don't move right away, but instead you slowly pick yourself up to that speed. Cyber own version of Zelda from GBA. No, I'm not that good. Trust me, I'm just doing this as a test to myself and to some things that I need to do for work. Oh, come on! What? Highlight this PY for me, please. Come on. That's not what I want to see. Okay. If everything went as I predicted, this will keep things moving the same way as it did before, which it does. Perfect. Nice. I can still collect the key. Great. Now I want to start slowly bringing over the functions that I made in Sprite so I don't have to use the same things here, which is kind of a pain. So player.x plus equals to x speed, player.y plus equals to y speed. I'm going to comment these two out for now. Control slash. And then call player.move, which is a function that I made for player. What's going on? Missing semicolon. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I should probably change the syntax of this move. And we also need to animate it, where do we draw the player? Player is drawn...
Jack it up.
I need to bring this over, actually. I need to bring this over. X speed. Yeah, I should really bring that over. But then I need access to X speed. Oh, wait, we don't need X speed. Left, right, up, or... I mean, I could port the function variables over. We'll see. Alright, one step at a time. I'm getting ahead of myself. Where is it drawn? So player is being drawn here. Can I do a player.draw function here? Error? Oh, right, it's called animate. Right. Oh, no, it's not moving anymore. Okay, fantastic. Why is that? Why is it not animating? X, Y, W, H. Don't tell me that the X and Y, W, H is not being called correctly. Right? All I did was change one thing, which was to go from no, what was it originally? A rectangle, drawing a rectangle with using players.y, player.x, player.y, and then 50-50. Change to... If this worked... Oh wait, no, this was already broken. Okay, never mind. That was something else. Okay, so it was when I changed it to everything to move. That's when it broke. Okay, well, that's fine. I'll still do it. I'm gonna go back to player.animate. So I don't think it's the animation that's causing the problem. What's causing the problem? Debugging is always the fun part, especially when you've got errors. So why is switching to player.move a problem? Oh, because it doesn't have a speed. That's right. What am I saying? Gravity uses player.y. Right, because it's adding y speed. There's no such thing. Okay. So, okay, that's doable. I'm gonna do player dot speed dot replace, and then the key would be y. The new value, and the new value will be this is a long one. Player.speed.get y, and then plus three. I think that's what I did before. Let's go with 2 this time, actually. See how that works. Okay, it did work. It worked. And gravity applies a speed of 2, but I'd like to apply a gravity of just 1 for now. I still can't move left and right, but that's one problem out of the way. It is animating. Left and right movement is controlled by speed X and speed Y, so it's these guys over here. When you slowly start changing things, so I'm going to apply the same code. I'd rather have that as a part of Sprite though. I mean, we'll start slowly bringing things over. If we have to change it, then we'll change it along the way. So speed X equals to -10. We're just straight up replacing it with a -10 here. Sure. This is actually much simpler. Speed dot equals to 10. I'm gonna just do a positive 10 here. Equals to 0. Sure. Most of this doesn't have to be changed. We're gonna slowly fork things over once we see that it works. Up, Y speed. Oh wait, that's positive 10, right? No, that's a -10. Okay. Left, right. This one's talking about X. This one's talking about X. These guys are all talking about X. I need to change these values here. That should be good. Run. Okay. I can move left and right. Does it lock me? It does not lock me. Right. Because it's still... A lock focus uses player.x and uses x speed, right. Again, we need to do player.speed.get the value of x. It's a very tedious process. I really need to change that out soon. Okay, but that should do it. That should complete the screen lock. No. For each if you write, then if you write bracket and action and then close. Okay, yeah. So a simple one here would be like this. This states the parameter. So basically in here, you have to create a conditional statement. And if that condition evaluates to a true, for example, like something simple like 1 equals to 1, then that will be evaluated true, meaning this if statement is checked, it's good to go. But if you do something like 1 equals to 2, well, 1 is not 2. Therefore, it comes to a false statement. And that means everything inside here does not get run. That's the one way you can think about it. It's the only decision maker computers have. And up is actually a variable that evaluates to true or false. It's basically saying, are you pressing the up arrow key or not? And in this case, meaning if you press the up arrow key, this will evaluate to true, and that means I will give you a vertical upward movement speed. If that evaluates to false, meaning you're not pressing the up arrow key, I don't give you a vertical movement. But screen lock is still broken. I don't understand. Oh, is it because of lock speed? That makes sense. Hold up. Anything else still using X speed? Okay, that is still using X speed. Wait, what was this originally? So we're saying X speed plus equals lock speed. Okay, I'm gonna make a player.speed replace X, then replace with the new value of player.speed.get X plus 10, I would assume. Right? I hope that's the case. Oh no, wait, plus lock speed, whoops. Okay, now I think this line should be done. And I don't need these two anymore because those were the original movement speeds. Lock speeds shouldn't change, speed is changed. I don't think there should be any other cases where I'm still using the original speed. Let's see if that works. Okay, great. Right side movement is good, left side movement is good. Do I come out of lock? Yes, I do. Check. Can I pick up this cube still? Yes, I can. Collision still working perfectly as well, okay. Besides the line being a bit long, it does work nicely. Now I need to start configuring the original idea of move. I need to bring some stuff over from the original Ghost Room file and bring it over to the move file. And how do we want to do that? Sure. I want to bring over these variables. Directional keys. So Boolean left, right, up. I'm going to cut that, bring it over to sprite. We're going to make sure that this have it. And by default, we're going to set them all up as false. So left equals to false, right equals to false, and up equals to false. Pretty sure there was an easier way to do this. I'm not sure. I have to look into that. Okay, so we got the variables over here. Any errors? Of course there is. Move player needs to get shifted over. The only problem is... Okay, I want to do the whole things one step at a time. So I'm going to bring this over. And it's going to be a part of move. Format. Right, so I don't need to do player.speed anymore, I just need to do speed.replace. So player dot is unnecessary. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, and get rid of that. Still issues. Gravity should also always be applied. And gravity is a part of Sprite, so I'm going to bring it over here. Let's format that. Player.y, that's fine. I no longer need to do player.speed anymore, so just simply speed.replace. And we don't need player.get. That's good. We don't need player.y either. It's just simply y. I just realized that's actually a good point. Do I need anything else to change? No, that's fine. Okay. Got everything. We gotta make sure gravity is called before or after. Gravity is called after the move. So everything is over, then we call gravity. There we go. Okay. What else do we need to bring over? You began the stream when you already have progressions on your project. It would have been better to begin it and see step by step everything. Now I see and I'm lost. Yeah, that's good. That's probably an idea. It's just that this is also partially for work. Yeah. I do what I can. What song is playing in the background? I have no idea. See, the thing with, even if I started from the beginning of the programming, people who join late would still end up, or people who join later in the stream would end up losing track either way. So it's kind of, if you join to look at what, most people would not understand what I'm doing anyways, unless you've actually indulged yourself in programming before. So it's more of a showcase, is to see change. And you may pick up a thing or two along here and there. You might see patterns, and that's how people learn. Because when I started learning programming, it was all about figuring out patterns. You try things that you don't know, you have absolutely no idea what they do, but then when you implement them slowly, little by little, as you use them, you'll start to see a pattern, and then you figure out what they do. And now I just go on Stack Overflow whenever I have a question. Alright. So that's care of gravity. I do still need to bring this over, which is if you're locked, but I don't. This is the tough part. I don't. Lock speed, background speed, they're all applied in Ghost Room. I don't want to bring it over unless I absolutely have to. You know what? When I'm moving, I will request for a background speed. How's that? When I request for lock speed, and then do I have to? Because it calls for lock focus as well, but lock focus is only part of the player. Okay, you know what? I'll leave lock focus in here. Sprite's something that's in common for everyone, so it shouldn't even be a part of lock focus. Lock speed will get applied. Brilliant. I'll go with this idea. I'm gonna copy this over because Sprite should be different between player and enemies. Since player is the focus of the game, I should not be applying lock focus when you're on the enemies, and sprite contains both player and enemy, so it should not be in common. It's like a Venn diagram. So I'm going to only bring this over, and I'm just going to format that real quick. Lock is a function that I don't need. It's not so much as lock, but we will always be applying the lock speed to every single sprite. So I'm gonna go ahead and format that again. Speed.replace X, and I don't need player.speed. It's going to apply that lock speed. But lock speed will change depending on whether or not you are in lock. Makes sense. Okay. Background pose plus equals to. Now this one's a tricky one. There's no background speed. What's wrong with this lock speed? Oh, whoops! I have to actually let it know what type of variable it is. Right. Background pose plus equals to lock speed. This one's kind of tricky because it doesn't actually apply background speed. You know what? This is not a part of the function. I'm gonna move it out here. Gonna hold me 20 minutes. Once they're turning PC downloading program and trying it, I'm fully interested. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Let's see here. Okay, we have speed. TX plus. Okay, we don't have TX anymore. Right. This is where this dot X plus equals to speed dot get X is involved. So I don't need all of that. Okay. Making headway progress. So lock focus gives me a true or false, or it sets lock to be true or false. But what if I just simply have it return a boolean instead of having it locked here? So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that lock. What else is broken? Lock equals to false. I don't need that anymore. Let's just get rid of that. And then what I will do is I will check for lock. Lock will give me back a boolean. And then I will apply simply a return statement to this. And then use lock focus. Oh, right, because it doesn't always guarantee a type of return result. Huh. So what happens if it fails all of these? Well, if it fails all of these, then it's going to be returned false, isn't it? It's that simple. I can also remove this, because the only time it's true is if it's within this boundary. And then if it escapes out of all of these, then it'll be returned false. Okay, so that actually makes things a little simpler. Lock focus is now going to return a true or false. Player.move is no longer existing. Why is this? Move expects like move in. Oh, because it needs lock speed. Okay, makes sense. Lock speed equals to the negative of player.speed.getX. That's only if lock is true. So if lock focus is true, then I can make the lock speed the inverse of the player speed. Otherwise, I will set lock speed to be equal to 0. Makes sense. This one is a function. Let's call that. Lock focus is no longer needed here. Background pose plus equals lock speed. That's fine at all times. Player.move is getting called properly. We're going to give it the lock speed that it needs. And gravity is being called in player, so we don't need that here. Okay, that solves majority of the problem. The only issue now is when I press a key, it doesn't actually refer to these variables anymore. They're part of player. So we're going to simply do player.left. Add a player dot sign to the left of it. There we go. Okay. That solves the majority of the problem, but now we need to create the key and the enemy as another set of sprites. So this one is the T. This one's the test box. So I'm going to do sprite test. And this one will be the sprite key. I can't use key. So I'll say key 1. I'm not very creative. Let's go with that. 1,200. I'm gonna comment these out for now. I'll make a key based on that. So test equals to new sprite. This one is 1,200, 500, and we made it so that it's the same thing, a 50 by 50. That one's good. And then the key will be made as a new sprite at 2,500, 20, and 20. I'll also make subcomponents to this, so it's actually not as difficult. Carlson, welcome. You've just joined the most boring stream ever, but welcome regardless. So I'm doing a bit of programming here, making sure that I'm creating a game, but it is an adventure, more like a puzzle game. Side-scrolling, so nothing too special. I'm going to do player.speed.getX. I'm going to copy it over here, except this time I'm going to change it around to... That was test, right? Yeah, that was test. I'll make adjustment here. Actually, I don't even need to do this anymore. I just need to call test.animate. Right? Yeah, test.animate. It's that simple. I don't even need to do all that. And this one is just key.animate. This is so much simpler. Because once you get the classes working, it takes care of a lot of things for you, and you don't have to go through all that. This, however, is a different story. So I'm gonna have to do key 1 dot speed. No, key 1 dot x. This is not that hard. That's it. That's all I have to do. And this one is key 1 dot y instead. It's not even that hard. All right, I'm overcomplicating things. Okay, no errors. No errors here. I think we're good to run it. Let's see if it still works the same way as before. Okay, no crashes. I'm not in screen lock anymore. Problem. Okay, let's see what's the problem. Why is it not in screen lock? First of all, I want to make sure lock focus is getting executed. So let's create a... Let's create a variable here. I'm going to say print. Worked. Yay. If that doesn't execute, then that means it failed to work. Let's move to the right. Okay, well, it is working. How often is move player getting called? It's getting called very frequently, but the fact that it only calls it... Are you telling me that it only works when you touch the edge? Oh no, I botched that. That was supposed to... Okay, so lock is necessary. Screen is locked. Maybe try to lock the player instead of the screen. Yeah, well, that's the idea. I'm trying to lock the player. The screen lock locks both the player... Well, okay, so here's the idea. Screen lock is not actually what the name suggests. It doesn't lock the screen. It locks the player so that the screen continues to move. So in the end, it is still locking the player, but the problem is the lock focus function here only checks to see if I slam into one of the two zones, if that makes sense. So if I pull up Paint and demonstrate it, if this is the screen, and I have like these zones in the middle, if you touch one of these zones, like if your character is in the middle, oops. If your character's right over here, it will trigger the function. It will return a true, but it doesn't include any moment that it's still within the zone. As in, like if he's in the middle here, it doesn't trigger. So it doesn't know that it's still in lock. But that doesn't make sense. It should still, when you touch the right side, it should continue to, it should have stopped your player from moving. right? Okay, I'm gonna trace this program real quick. So lock focus is true. Lock speed becomes the inverse of the player's speed at that moment. I didn't stop the player's speed at any given point, okay? So that would mean that lock speed gets passed over to move. The move function takes that lock speed and applies it to the player's speed. Hold up. Time to test something. Print lock speed. Let's see if this ever changes. If it never changes to a negative version of the player, then we know what's up. It did at one point. It changed to a -10. What if instead of touching the zone, you put the movement on at 35% of the screen, or 25%? What do you mean by that? Are you referring to if I drew a percentage? So like I try to draw a 25% screen size? Is that what you mean? Like this red zone here is like, let's say 25% of the actual screen, and you're saying make that the zone? That's an interesting theory. I mean, I've never tried it, but we can always try to implement that. 25% of the zone. We can start from the middle, stretch about 15. So what it's basically like is basically splitting the percentage of the screen. Stretch about 15%. If we go with 20%, that might be more approachable. We split it down in the middle, find the center point of the screen, go 10% to the left and then 10% to the right, and that creates a middle zone. It's possible. I just never tried it. I'm gonna give it a shot later. But yeah, the main problem here isn't even the zone right now. It's that at some point it changes to a -10, but it didn't counteract the speed that the player had. "25% of the right side of the screen. Screen follows the player and moves with it." Right, so you mean at 25% the player stops moving and this background kind of shifts to make it an illusion that your player is moving, but really the player is standing still, right? Again, yeah, that's another possibility, but that's to set up the zone. It's that I have a zone. The real issue is that when it's in the zone, the computer doesn't really state it as the zone, if that makes sense. Like, it's not the zone that's the problem right now. It's the behavior of the player inside the zone. And I'm not sure how to go about doing that. Let's try something. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know if that speed worked. It should have. I don't think there was any reason why it wouldn't. So speed.replace x speed.x plus lock speed. The zone is the problem, no us. So
join forces.
I figured out what the problem is. Oh my god, did I figure out what the problem is. That took a lot of thinking and I had to trace it. But the issue here is that the lock speed, momentarily, for that moment, sure, you have a, let's say pretend you have a actual physical speed. Your speed is, let's say 5. And the next moment you move, it will take you over across the zone, then it stops you. That's when the program stops you. But then if it sets the lock speed back to 0, and it gets added to your player speed, because remember, lock speed is the inverse of your player speed. It's like, let's say you move at a speed of 5, and lock speed takes the reverse of that, so it's -5, and you add this together, it will be 0. So here, when it's trying to test, the next time it tests, it says, okay, if player.x plus equal to this player speed, which is 0, it's not going to go over. So it doesn't return a true. It thinks that you're not going to step over. But in truth, it does. So I need to somehow bring lock focus back into sprite and then not stay in here. That's what I have to do. I need to mock, or but then I need to, temporarily give player a speed then. And if it doesn't work, okay, here's a quick fix. This is gonna be a quick fix. It's not a good fix, but it's a quick one. I will give it, oh no, wait, that's not a good idea. Because then I don't know if it's gonna go positive or negative. Actually, does it even matter? No, it doesn't. I'm gonna give it some random speed. Again, this is a quick fix, but it's not a good fix. Player.speed.replace x10, player.speed, and this time I'm gonna replace y with 10. Fingers crossed, hope it works. Give it some kind of value. It's going to think that's going to cross over, and it stops there. The only problem is now screen lock left doesn't work, because I don't know which direction it goes. It's just a quick fix. It's never a good fix. So what I have to do is somehow bring lock focused into sprite now instead of keeping it here. So that was the problem. But then how do I lock focus will always try to, depending on the speed that the player has right now, it's going to try and unturning PC and downloading program. Alright, got you. I just realized. How can I apply? Okay, well, I need the speed to go over to sprite, but I also need lock focus in sprite. How do I do that though? Okay, this is where thinking comes in. We have to use our big brain, and we have to go 200 IQ on this. Can I pass a variable over from lock focus? Lock focus relies on the speed of the player. So we need to somehow attempt to give player a speed and then apply that speed to let's try something real quick. This dot x plus speed equals to x, and this dot y plus equals speed.getY. This is the place, this is the final step in order for, okay. Again, this is not a good fix, but it's a better fix than before. Even your peanut brain less than 100 IQ. You know what? In that case, I don't need my full capability. This isn't even my final form. I don't need my full capability here. So I'm gonna call player.move beforehand. But lock speed doesn't, but now lock speed doesn't have a speed. And we need to apply that to, okay, that's not gonna work. That's not going to work. Take this, put it back here. All right, how do we do this? I'll bring the lock focus over. Let's bring lock focus over to sprite. That's the thing. This is the hard part. Move player relies on lock speed, but lock speed relies on move player. You can't go two ways. It can't go two ways or it crashes the program. Or there's going to be a problem. It relies on each other. So we can't do this. So I'm bringing lock focus over to player so it has that speed given. And we're going to go ahead and change this to just simply X. We don't need the player anymore. I'm gonna get rid of player here. We don't even have lock zone. No background pose lesson. We don't even have background pose. Come on, man. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. I don't have background pose anymore. Background pose is supposed to keep track of where the background is. So can I make a reference to background pose? I can do that. Let's do that. Ref. Oh wait. Yeah, I mean, that's the only way. There's no other way to do this unless the background pose is public, but it's not public, is it? Yeah, you know what? Fine. Ask for it. We don't have lock zone either. Gotta get that. Lock zone is actually an int list, so we're gonna have to do lock zone. Actually, int list lock zone. There we go. We'll do that. We have everything we need now. Should no longer have a problem. Lock focus can get out of here. We don't need that anymore. Lock speed can get reversed, but it's not important because lock speed is it important? Lock speed needs to apply to every variable. Idea. This is gonna take a lot of undos. Can I even go that far? Wait, how far did I go? Okay, we're back here. I need my lock focus back. You know what? You know what? No, it's fine. It's okay. You know what? You know what? I'll put everything back the way it is. You know what? It's okay. You know, because apparently the undo button in processing is absolutely horrendous. So I'll never go with that again. I want to suggest a huge room and give the player freedom of movement in the room, and when moved to another room, required to press enter and proceed to the next room. But we need to overcome the lock challenge. Yeah, that's the first thing. That's the idea. Yeah, and also he needs to have a key. Okay. I remember the old lock focus. That was what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back over here into the ghost room. And we don't need all this. We're gonna bring lock back as a boolean because apparently that will be actually the easiest way to do this. So boolean lock. I need to start copying and pasting. I don't think I changed anything else here, so this one should be false. I don't know where I'm at in this program anymore. I'm just gonna run it, see if it works. Nope, absolutely it does not. Okay. Wait, what happened to the last line? This dot X speed. Wait, how is it? What? How is this man moving? Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm gonna save. And I'm gonna close. And I have to reopen my processing. I botched that. Okay, I hate it when processing does this. It's absolute garbage. Now let me guess, all my work is completely messed up. Is it? No, okay, so the X was still here. For whatever reason, X wasn't showing up and it wasn't supposed to be that way. I didn't want to do anything that would rig the program. Okay, so it's still here. That's fine. Whew. No pour? Huh? Nice try, Lock. I don't think that exists. Even if you do roll back and clip on it, you're still not gonna be able to find that. A lock. Okay, lock. Let's see what the lock speed is. How about that? Before we actually jump into player.move. So we'll do print ln lock speed. Let's find out if this actually breaks. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, it's all zeros. What is going on? Is it because I never set it up? Are you challenging my Photoshop skills? No. And yes, I can easily tell the difference. Come on, why isn't... Okay, well clearly it's not working. Oh, because I didn't call lock focus, that's why! Of course. Why didn't I think of this earlier? I wonder why too. It's called lock focus up here. Why do I do this to myself? The problem is right in front of my face, but I don't see it. Okay, well no, that's still a... Okay. Have we found the answer? Nope. Test lest brack through what you try. Huh? This should be fairly easy. I don't know why I'm having trouble with this. Lock focuses player.speed. It would not render any other problems. I'm trying not to... See, here's the thing. I don't want to rely on two different functions for moving player and moving enemies, but I might have to in this case. I may end up having to, and that's what frustrates me. If I want to fix this, sure, but It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna like this fix. That much I'm saying. I have a pride. I have a pride as a programmer not to rely on the easy way out. But now, since I can't really focus on anything, I want to move forward. I'm not going to be picky with my methods. So let's get rid of this. You don't need this anymore. And instead of basically applying the speed in the function itself, I'm going to take it out here. I will apply the speed at the end. Which is gonna say player dot x. Actually, how does the other things move anyways? Oh no, wait, I know why they move. Never mind. Player dot x plus equals player dot speed dot get. And what this does is now, if I call move at the beginning, check for lock focus, and then stop background move. Wow, even gravity broke now. Never mind, that made things a lot worse. Okay, what? I don't understand. Oh, this is a pain. This is a pain. This is officially a pain in my butt now. Okay, let's roll back the changes then. Great, I gotta keep suffering. I gotta keep suffering. Wait, gravity gets applied after my speed gets adjusted. Right. So gravity is the last thing I want to do. So then how do I do this? How do I adjust my speed? What if I do lock focus below move player gets called, huh? What if I do that? Yeah, no, I didn't think that was gonna work. I just thought it might. It would have still kept it the same, that's the problem. We need to take the original speed. We need to take the original speed of the player before it actually applies lock speed to it. Lock or lack? Oh, suffering is the requirement to success. I think that's failure is a requirement to success. Suffering not necessary, not necessarily a part of it. And yes, lack, that's the one. Okay, so what's the goal? I need to pass the original speed of the player before the lock speed is applied over to lock focus so that it can check if it works. But then lock speed then needs to pass over whether or not to... Wait, there's something that's ticking at the back of my mind. There's something that's brewing, an idea that's forming. Lock focus should be first. When you press, lock speed should be there. If not, you execute move. So how does the lock function work? Right. The formula works as such. There are two bars in the center of the screen. These are what we call the lock zones. And essentially, when the player crosses one of these, or steps into the zone in between these two red lines, and attempts to get out of the zone, this is when the lock occurs. The minute he tries to step over one of the zone bars, we test to see if he's going to step out of the zone. If he will, then freeze him here and start moving everything in the background instead. That's the idea. So it's impacted by speed, it's impacted by position, it's not impacted by gravity, and it's also impacted by lock speed. Well, the movement of the player is impacted by lock speed. And the issue right now is that, so you would typically check for whether or not the player is locked by providing it with the speed. Now, but the speed is impacted by lock. So it forms an endless loop. One moment, and I can try to describe the issue as best as I can. Let's say you have a speed of 10. And in this moment, you're about to cross over if you go 10 pixels to the right. So lock speed tells you, alright, well, you're not supposed to. So I'll give you a reverse speed of -10 to counteract that 10 you had originally. So it cancels out to be equal to 0. Now the next time you move, your speed is 0, right? It's not 10. So it says, okay, well, you're not going to step over with just 0 pixels of movement. You're not going to step over, so you're free to move. And then it ends up stepping over. It's no longer in lock. That's the issue that I'm struggling with. Zone and player gets impacted by the movement speed of the player and keeps the player inside the zone. Kind of, you can think of it like that. It's a bit harder to explain without the proper means. And what was it that I was thinking about in the back of my head? Final speed and what if instead of 0, we replace it with a number? Which one? This lock speed? The problem with this is that it will basically permanently allow a movement in a certain direction. So if I did this, there we go. And it's not that we're moving, okay? That's the background shifting. You can't see it because we don't have a background. But if I did a -10, it'll fly the other way. It's already gone because actually the cube flew to the left. You see how player.move applies lock speed? So that means if I apply at a speed of 10, that means my speed, because my player speed, which was originally 0 if I don't click anything, is now impacted by the lock speed of 10, which ends up shifting you over to the right. So I figured out a way to do this, which I will pretend that the sprite now has two different speeds. One is an intentional speed, one is a final speed. So I'm going to go ahead and create this. So I'm going to say intent speed. And this one is the final speed. So you have to lock the zone, not the background. The Sorry, I should mention this. The zone will always be constant. It will always be on the same place on your screen. Not necessarily attached to the background. But the background is the one that moves. Sorry, I'm just focusing hard here, trying to figure out. No, it wouldn't be intent speed. This would be fine. No, this will be final speed. Dot replace, providing it by the intent speed. And this one will use the final speed to apply. Okay, so how does that help me? Well, now we have an intent speed that always maintains positive or negative depending on which way you move. And the final speed is the one that we don't need to see. So now the lock speed will become the final speed of .get, but the lock will use the intent speed of the player. Let's try it. Oh, where's the error? Down here. Oh, gravity, right. That's final speed. Because we don't need to change anything about the Y. Okay, run it now. Kind of working, kind of not. Okay, there's definitely a slowdown, but what is going on over here? Jeez. That's true. That's true. It is Saitama now at this point. But why is this happening? Lock speed is equal to negative of player's final speed. Get. Could it be doing what I think it's doing? Intent speed is 0. 0 plus lock speed. I'm just jamming. Don't mind me. Alright, so what if I change this to intent speed? Just testing something out real quick. Hey! The problem was that I was using the final speed, which was still calculated in the end. But the lock speed works. But now I can't jump for whatever reason. Okay, well, whatever. Jumping is an easy fix. We got that done. Lock focus is now working correctly, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah! Okay, so we're still missing the ability to... What are we missing here? Jump, right, jump. Gravity is still being applied. Y is equal to plus equals to final speed. Gravity... Y equals to ground minus 50. I mean, I can't... What? Why can I not jump? Intent speed equals replace. What? Oh, right. Because final speed needs to have... I didn't have a final speed. I need to replace Y with the intent speed of Y, but without the lock speed. That one needs to be applied to gravity, but gravity is getting called at the end, so I don't have to worry about anything about that. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, right? You gotta be kidding me. You can't tell me that's not... Okay. Gravity is applied here before anything is applied. There we go. What is this gravity? You gotta be kidding me. Come on. You can't seriously expect me to believe that. Oh, is it because of it's using final speed? I need to do intent speed. What if I do this? Do it. No, it's not moving anymore. Alright, that's the problem. Then it doesn't really matter which one to put it on, does it? No, it does. Okay. I thought it was supposed to go faster and faster. Is that not how it's supposed to work? Because it takes the final speed of Y. Oh, because it tries to get the intent speed every single time. That's why. Okay, so we're not gonna have to. We're gonna have to use the original. It keeps it as a constant. I need to take the original. But then we don't even need the final speed, do we? We don't need an intent speed. We just need a final speed here. Final speed. Final speed. Gravity gets replied at the end. Okay, you know what? Hold up a second. What? Oh, wait, it's here. Right. Are we playing Asteroids now? No, no. Okay, there we go. We got it. We got it. It's working. Whee! Okay. Alright, fix everything. Even though what I just did is basically putting the game back to the way it was when it was running, the only difference is that now everything has been moved over to sprite, so I can now work with keys and where are the keys? Okay, the block isn't showing up, the key isn't showing up. I'm just gonna get that out of the way and then we're good. So player animate, test animate, and the key animate should be working. Why are they not working? Test.animate, we already created it. Oh, is it because I have to call it move? I have to call move, don't I? I do. So here, after move player, we're gonna have to call test.move, followed by the lock speed that we have, followed by key1.move, lock speed, multi-jump for now. Why is he on the ground? Oh, because gravity's getting applied to them. Right. Gravity's getting applied to them. There are some things that shouldn't apply. Gravity should not apply to. So I'm gonna make sure that gravity is only applied if that's the user. So how do I do that? I'll create a new boolean, call it grav g. And in the case where g I'm going to say this dot g equals to g. There we go. And we will only apply gravity to those that g applies to. Seems to apply on objects. Yeah, it applies to all objects. So what I'm going to do is make sure that they don't apply to any object. Yeah, or at least in anything that I don't want to have. So player, yes on G, so I'm going to say true. The test, which will be a block in the air, so I'm going to say false to that. And then the key one will be a false as well. So those guys should stay in the air now. Yeah, there we go. And I can pick up the key. I can't hit the block. That's normal. It's a bit laggy, but I think it's fine. I'm gonna have to improve the performance a little bit later. But so far it works, and it's hurting my eyes looking at this, actually. Ugh. The stuttering effect hurts my eyes. Can I turn up the FPS, please? Set up frames. FPS 60. I know there was an FPS check somewhere there. I gotta take a look. Let's check. Oh, it's called frame rate. Okay. Let's do this. Frame rate 60. Yeah, let's see if that works. Oh yeah, much smoother. Oh yeah, boy. That's what I'm talking about. I like this a lot better. Much, much better. Okay. I feel so much better now. This is a nice game. Alright. It's gonna be as far as the stream goes. We need to collide with the block not going through. Well, eventually talk about the collision and keeping it, make sure that it doesn't actually pass through it. But putting that aside, I'm going to end the stream here. It's been a good run. See if I can figure out something better next time. Yeah, definitely. Gonna get into that. Alright then. Take care, Lack. Thanks for tuning in for the stream.